Hello.
Hello, Nikki.
Welcome to Let's Be Real Mama Journeys. I'm Nikki Berger, the host of this podcast. And in our podcast, we like to explore motherhood in a way that is honest, real, and authentic. And today I'm so excited I get to talk to Shannon. So this is Shannon Harrell. I said it right.
Got it.
She said I wasn't gonna, but it did. And I'm so excited to hear your story and learn more about your story. I know a little bit and I want to know more. So first of all, tell us who you are, what you are, who you are, what you do, and anything else you want to share with the people.
Awesome. First, thank you.
Of
This is
course.
so great to talk. I am Shannon Harrell. I have 4 children. My husband and I, we share 4 children. So we have a 23-year-old and almost a triplets that are 19.
Whenever you say those words, I just like literally have like, yeah.
I know. So I always want to start with that because that is our journey. That, I mean, the whole thing is awesome. And I'm glad to be here to talk about that. I'm also an early childhood mental health consultant, big, long title, but really is I am there to support families and to support mamas on their parenting journey. So, and kind of a support for all moms.
Love that. Yeah. Triplets are 19. We're going to get into this, but how did the 23-year-old take the fact that there were going to be 3 siblings walking in the door?
Great question. So while I was pregnant, we talked about it. There's 3 babies in mommy's belly. And she kept saying, okay. The Christmas before they were born, we got her 3 babies. And so she opened up 3 toy babies. And we didn't know the sex of the babies. So we just got her, random. And she would dress the babies and she would hold the babies. And she'd be like, oh, babies are coming. They're coming, Mama.
And she was 3, 4.
She was 3, almost 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So great.
And then they came home and still great?
Maybe. It was, that's my only maybe. They came home differently. So the triplets were born 30 weeks in one day.
Oh my gosh.
They were in the NICU. 2 of them were in the NICU 8 weeks, and one of them stayed for 10 weeks.
Wow.
So they staggered.
Yep.
And then, so my husband, Mark, and I would go to the hospital and take shifts.
Mm-hmm.
And Kaylin, our oldest, was at home or she was with my family.
Mm-hmm.
God bless my family.
Mm-hmm.
But it was different.
Yeah.
But to go from 1 child to 4 in 30 seconds was a big deal.
Yeah. Oh, God bless you. You're amazing. Okay. So your kiddos are 23 and 19, almost 19.
Mm-hmm.
When is their birthday?
19. They just turned
turned 19 in February. Okay. Awesome. And are you an empty nester now?
No.
Ish?
Well,
No.
we were, but one of the triplets is at CSU Global.
Oh, okay.
For a semester. And then she's going to go there on campus in
Awesome.
August. Then we'll be like empty.
Oh my gosh. That's a big.
So we've had practice.
Yeah, but wow, that's a big change.
Yep.
That's big marital change, big household change. Like, think of like you won't have any laundry to do.
It was different for real. The laundry was different. The
for real
grocery store was different.
Uh-huh.
The chores around the house were different.
Yeah, because there's nobody else to do them.
The dogs were different. Everything was different.
Everything is different. Yeah. But a good different.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right. So here we are, 4 children. I can't even, like, even twins, people with twins. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even know. And then you added another one on there. And then I see like on TikTok and different things, like families with 6 kids. I'm like, all at once. I mean, it's one thing when you're staggering them. Like I had 3, but I had them staggered and it's just a completely different mothering journey. What was your biggest challenge? I mean, besides how many diapers did you change? I can only imagine the amount of diapers you went through.
Like, that's a cool story. And then I'll tell you. But my husband worked in an elementary school. He was a principal.
Mm-hmm.
So before they were born, all the teachers and everybody got together and filled his office with diapers and wipes. No lie, to the ceiling. So we were good on diapers for at least 8 months.
Holy moly.
It was so great. It was like, and it was just such a great gift because it just showed up in his office one day. Congratulations on the triplets. Here's some diapers and wipes.
Wow.
So yeah, we were so blessed on that. But the hardest challenge, I think, was beginning when we got married. We met late. I was 26. And so
it's not late.
Well, we wanted to start early, but we didn't meet each other until I was 26. So then we found out that we were having fertility problems. And that was the biggest challenge because all we wanted to do as a married couple was to be parents. We were ready.
You were ready.
And all these doctors were like, the only way you can do it is in vitro or adoption.
Okay.
So that was the biggest challenge. And we had to pray about it and just be like, all right, what do we need to do?
Right.
We decided to do in vitro.
Okay.
Really great fertility doctor. And he was really honest. So the first set of in vitro, it was Kaylin, our daughter, and she had a twin.
Okay.
So we were so excited, got the pregnancy results. I was like, oh my gosh. So the 6 weeks ultrasound, we had 2. They said, you're going to have twins. We were like, oh my gosh, this is great. We're so ready. We're so ready. 8 weeks was so bittersweet. They were like, we only see 1. So to describe that emotion, I've talked to a lot of parents. There is no adjective for that.
No.
You're happy, but you're so
grieving,
sad.
but you're sad. Absolutely.
You feel so blessed, but then you're like, oh my gosh, I lost a baby.
I lost a baby without even knowing. Yeah.
So that was one of the hardest things.
Absolutely.
And then the other hardest thing was to say, okay, we got to do it again. But you look at the finances, you look at all the stuff with in vitro, the shots, the hormones. We already have a baby. When do you do that? So we tried in between the triplets and Kaylin, and nothing happened. And then we finally said, okay, we're going to do one more time.
One more time.
Which is our joke.
One
more time. As I remember the doctor passing me before the transfer, and he was like, we're going to put 3 in, right? And I was like, oh yeah, let's do 3. It's okay. He's like, okay. They don't do that anymore, which is good. No. They make sure that everything is good. And I think, I don't know, every case is different, but he was like, okay, we're doing 3. And my husband went in there and he looked at him in the dish and he goes, listen to my face. You guys go in there and you stick. You stick to your mother. And they're going, okay, Dad. Okay, Dad. Yes, listen to your mother.
Oh my gosh, how sweet is he?
That's such a funny story because they were like, we obeyed you, Dad.
We obeyed you. We have listened from day one. We're good kids.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So gonna implant 3, all 3 stick.
All 3 stick.
And thank God none of them split. Like, can you, I can't even.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. And so they're all 3 separate eggs, 3 separate sacs.
True.
Not identical. They're all completely different.
Totally different.
Okay. And you had girls, boys?
2 boys and 1 girl.
2 boys and 1 girl. So now you have 2 of 2.
Yep.
2 and
Addie,
2.
Zach, and Tate.
Yeah. I love it.
Yep.
Okay. So through all of this, who was your biggest supporter or supporters?
Oh, I was so lucky, Nikki. I had my sister who is local, and she was in the operating room with me.
Oh.
And she was my right-hand lady. And so we had it down to the T. So, I mean, with 3, like when you have your first baby, there's 1 baby, all the stuff, but 3, we had to like man to man it.
Yeah.
So baby came out, everything was good. My husband was with the babies, but my sister Whitney stayed with me.
Okay. So
and
you had a person.
I had a person. I am number 4 out of 6 kids. So
okay.
2 of my sisters too were pregnant at the same time. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I have a big family. I'm so blessed.
Yeah.
So family was there, the church, such a great geriatric women. They called it the geriatric baby, baby group.
Geriatric.
That's what they called themselves. And they came over and they held the babies while I did bottles, and I just had a lot of support.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, I did have a lot of support.
And your husband.
Oh, I could not.
Yeah.
I could not have done that without him.
Absolutely.
We are a team.
Like you guys are a team.
Ooh,
yeah.
Forever.
Yeah. Forever. Yes. Love that. Do you think, so you are from here? Are you originally from here? So
my mother will be so excited for me to say this. I'm a 4th generation.
That is something in this. For those of you who don't live in Colorado, I know that sounds like, what's the big deal? Yeah. Nobody's from Colorado. Like that's the joke around here, right? Is that nobody's from here. And so when you find like an actual native, you're like, oh, you're a native. Look at you. You're special. And 4th generation native.
Yeah. We tell our kids.
Literally that's insane. That doesn't
cool.
happen. It is very cool. Yeah. So you had family around, you had people around, and then the church and your community you built there, which is huge. And is this the church like your whole family's always been at, like for years and years? No,
this is Mark and I, when we got married, we started going to another church, but still, I mean, it's a community.
Yes.
Yes. And I will say this, I had to allow people to help me.
Ooh, there's a word. Allow.
I had to allow and give myself permission to accept. Make
and
sense?
That is one of the hardest parts of being a mom, especially those of us who are like, I'll be the first to say I'm a type A person, right? I like things the way I like them. I like to do them myself because if I don't, guess what? It's probably, I'm going to have to redo it anyway. So let's be honest. I like things the way they are. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But then when you become a mom and you're, number one, have no idea what the hell you're doing,
Mhm.
you are floundering around, you're having the hormonal changes and all of that. Like there's so much going on.
There is.
And then to say, I can do this all by myself. I've done everything else by myself.
Mhm.
I've gone to school by myself. I've paid for my own things. I've done my own things. I don't need help.
Mhm.
And then you come home with 3 babies.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you're like, oh, scratch that.
Well, and it was hard just because I have been in early childhood for over 25 years. And one of the NICU nurses, God love her, and hormonally, I think I snapped at her. And I did apologize later, but I was in the NICU in an isolette and it was time to change the baby. And she was like, oh, you're an expert. You've been doing this for a long time. I looked at her and I said, please don't ever call me an expert. I never, ever had 3 people come out of my body. Much less the size of a doll.
Yes.
So I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what I'm doing.
So that was hard too.
But that was probably a very good learning experience for that nurse, because I say this all the time. Anybody who coins themselves, sorry if you're out there and you're one of them, coin yourself as an expert in parenting, a parenting expert, I call BS.
Yeah.
There's no such thing. I might be an expert, quote unquote, for my children and my situation and my household,
Yes.
but not yours
Yes.
and not your situation. So don't ever call yourself a parenting expert. There's no such thing.
No.
It really truly is not. There are very few things in this world where you cannot be an expert at, and that's one of them. Like,
well said.
Yes, right?
Yes,
You can be an expert in hair, you can be an expert in eyeballs, but when it comes to parenting, there's no such, because everybody's so different. Every situation is different. Every child's different. And so for a NICU nurse to say, "Oh, you got this," and just assume. And you know what? I love that you had the personality to go, nope.
Don't use that word.
Don't use that word. I don't know what I'm doing with this thing that is this big that came out of my body. And by the way, there's 2 more, like,
and tubes
and
everywhere, and beeps everywhere. Like, I don't know.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
It had to be pretty traumatic. Like,
it was.
did you? And I guess, and maybe you don't, but I would think that when you go through an in vitro situation, you go through a fertility situation, and they're all experts at fertility. We'll go there. They're definitely experts. I would hope that they were preparing you a little bit for, no. Okay. So like the preemie size and the NICU situation and all of that, it was interesting because there had a mom come to me. It was probably a year ago now, maybe longer. And she came to me and she said, I am really struggling because my baby's in the NICU. And I was like, okay, now I never had babies in the NICU. I have big, chubby, fat babies, like never had a NICU baby. And so I was like, I didn't really understand. I was like, well, tell me what you're struggling with. And she said, well, I'll tell you what I'm struggling with. I gave birth to this baby and expected to take them home. And now they're in the NICU and I don't know how long they're going to be there. And I go and I take care of my baby for 10 hours and then I go home and I go to a home that doesn't have a baby. I go to dinner with my husband. I sleep all night. I do all of these things. I pump and but I don't have a baby with me. So I'm not a mom right now. I'm a caregiver. And I was like, oh my gosh, like that never occurred to me. The grief of walking out those doors every day.
Oh, you just brought it back.
Without taking those babies home and then getting up in the morning and going, okay, I'm going to go back. Like, and then she said, honestly, she just didn't feel supported by the nursing staff there. She goes, nobody talks to me. And I get it. They're there to take care of my baby. They're there to make sure my baby is healthy and alive and all of the things. It's not about me. But nothing's about me, like nothing. And nobody talks to me. And when I came and talked to her into the NICU room, she was like, you're the first person to ask me like to talk to me. And I was like, oh mama, I did not think of this side of it. So you had that, you had those.
I did. I did have one charge nurse that was amazing. However, you and I both know that they're not there all the time.
Right.
So her name was Vicky, but she was so great. But she was the one that said, Shannon, this is why we're turning their heads. When I was there.
Oh,
this is why. Don't be afraid of this. This is why we're doing this. Skin to skin. So when she was there, I don't know how often she was there, but when she was there, she was so great. You got this, Shannon. But the rest of the time, it felt mechanical.
That's what she said too. It feels like I'm here to do a job.
Yeah.
But I'm not a mom. Like I'm not momming. Yeah. And I was like, oh, mama.
And you gotta, I mean, especially with NICU babies, you need to be sensitive because I remember walking out with 2 babies and leaving one. It was horrible, yet so great. Cause I was like, okay,
100%.
But again, there is no adjective
for
that.
No.
So I wish, and this is why I love strong mamas, because we can go in there and say, how are you doing? And women are so used to saying, yeah, the baby's great. No. How are you doing?
Yep. Yep.
How are
You matter.
you doing?
You matter.
Because the NICU can be scary. It can
so many beeping, so much going on.
much.
And then let's be honest, like I've watched every medical show there is. So
Yeah.
you watch ER and you watch Grey's Anatomy and you watch all these things and you're just like, and then that can happen. And then that beep and then that, and like, right. And so you have all these preconceived notions in your head of what it's supposed to look like and what it is. And, you know, and then you do wonder, like when I'm not there, what's happening. Right.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was not diagnosed with postpartum.
Okay.
But I can tell you that I went through postpartum.
Of course you did.
I didn't go through the last trimester, but the hormones, Nikki, were just everywhere. And we did have when we brought two, as Zach and Addie came home first and Tate was still there. No, I'm sorry. Back up. All the babies were there. And we did like that mom. We went home. I wasn't sleeping. I called every 2 hours to the NICU. How are the babies? Oh, and if I fell asleep, I felt bad. Called. How are the babies? I'll wait. Addie's this, Tate is this, you know, Zach is this. And one day I called and some nurse was like, Shannon, I'm so glad to tell you that Zach and Tate took the bottle.
Oh my God. That made me tear up because that's supposed to be your thing to do.
God, thank you for saying that.
That's supposed to be your thing.
Was so angry that
Of course you were.
I was like, I'm sorry. You gave them a bottle? And my tone was just, she goes, yeah. And they're boys. They did great. And I had to hand the phone to my husband. I was like, I can't. I can't talk to this woman.
Yep.
She just took my job.
Yep. She just took my job. That's like saying, that's like when it drives me crazy. Like if you work in a daycare, please don't ever tell moms or dads that their baby took their first step. Ever. You never, ever tell a parent that. Like you are just like, they had a great day today. I think she's ready to walk. You should try that at home. Don't you ever tell a mom that. If you take away that first, that is soul crushing to a mom and probably a dad sometimes. Like that's your job. That was your thing to do. And although she was doing her job,
she was. And so hard feelings to this nurse because she was doing her job and she probably wasn't informed that mom wanted to do it.
Nope.
But she's just taking care of the babies, right? But this is part of what I talk to moms about.
Yeah.
You need to be open.
Yeah.
And say, well, what do you want?
Yes.
Do you want that first feeding?
Yes.
Then let's talk to this nurse and say, hey, if you guys are feeling like he's ready to eat, can you call me? I don't care if it's midnight.
Yep. I will come. Yep. 100%. Oh my God, mama. That's a tough one because those are things that I don't think anybody thinks about until it happens. Because you didn't say that to them. You didn't say, hey, I want to be the one that gives them their first bottle. I want to be the one that feeds them for the first time out of something other than a tube. But that conversation didn't happen because you didn't think about it.
I didn't.
But that should be, I would think, a conversation that the NICU nurses or the NICU staff would think, here's a list of firsts that are probably going to happen. Do you want to be here for the first diaper change, for the first bath, for the first, blah, blah, blah. I remember when my first was born, and they said, we're going to go take her for a bath. And I was laying there going, well, I going to be there? Like, what do you mean? And they were like, no, you just gave birth. You're going to lay here and you're going to do your thing, but dad can go watch. And I was like, take the video camera. This is my first baby, my first everything. And he was like, okay, like they're just bathing her. And I was like, no, that like, it's the dumbest thing now. I think she's 26 years old, but literally that was, but that's my job. That's what I was supposed to do.
Same with my first baby. I was like, well, why can't I come?
Yeah. Why can't I come? They're like, cause you just gave birth. Yeah. Okay. I can walk. I'm good. Like,
I am good.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and to be honest, everyone, it was like 19 years ago. The triplets were 19. I have no idea what NICU protocol is now.
Could be totally different.
But this is just what it was 19 years ago.
But that's a real like, letdown of like, that was my, And obviously, do they remember it? No, they don't. That's not the point. You do. I do. That's what matters. What has been your best mama moments? What's your best, like, what makes you like, oh my gosh, I got this and I'm doing a pretty dang good job?
Okay, I thought about this for a while. And when I was pregnant, there was an organization, I think it still exists, Super Twin. No, it was Twin to Twin or something. There was a group for mommies with twins. Yep. And I went to
Moms of multiples.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
That's it. Yep.
So I went to one of those and this wonderful woman, she was so great. She was like, I fully respect you being here, but I feel like you'd be better with a triplet group. And I was like, yeah, is there one? And she goes, yeah, it's called Super Twins of the Rockies. And it's for triplets.
super
more.
twins of the
Super
Rockies.
twins.
Well, for triplets, that don't make any sense. But okay, go ahead.
So it was
Weird.
originally for twins, and sometimes like when twins split. So it would be for triplets, quads, anybody who had more than two babies.
Okay.
And there were a lot of different stories, but I was like, okay. And that's where I met Karen Zimmerman, who is super sweet.
She's amazing.
So she's a triplet mom as well. But the best moment, I will say, we had a 4-year-old who was great, but she was going through a large transition, and we needed help with not only our triplets, but how do we like acclimate our first child, saying I was alone for so many years and now I got all these people.
I was an only child
for 4 years. God bless Kaylin. But they had a park day, and so I looked at my husband and said, we should just go. So we got everybody in the triplet stroller and told Kaylin we're going to go to a park. She's like 4.5, whatever. She's like, okay, let's go. So I went in and I strolled up and I felt accepted.
Oh.
And the reason, Nikki, is because there were triplet strollers everywhere.
Yeah.
And kids were running around, and mommies were talking to mommies, dads were talking to daddies. Nobody looked at us saying, you have triplets?
You have 3 kids.
Were they naturals? Good for you. I'm glad. Better you than me. Sorry, but I didn't hear.
Don't be sorry.
We didn't.
I could imagine the things you
that.
hear. Yeah.
It was just, come on, welcome. And obviously, how old are they? Kaylin went and found a friend immediately. We felt safe.
Yep.
And so that was the best mommy. Like, okay, it's going to be hard, but I can call on any one of these ladies and say, I'm not okay today.
These are my people.
I'm not okay.
I love that you did it. Like, got in the stroller and went, because that's just daunting in itself to get 4 kids out the door. Like, good Lord. But I love that you did it, and then you found your people. And I think that's a testament to sometimes you just got to show up, even when you don't want to, even when it's exhausting.
You really do.
You really just have to show up. And I find that over and over and over in this nonprofit is that I have a lot of speaking engagements or meetings I have to go to, or get whatever, a happy hour, whatever. And so I go to these things, and honestly, I'll be honest, like, I don't always want to go. I don't always have the energy. I don't always have the, okay, I got to be on, and I got to tell the story 9,000 times. And I don't necessarily want to go, but every single time I go, I walk away going, oh, dang it. That was so worth my time.
It's going to be my first book.
Yep.
I didn't want to. But
I didn't want to, but I'm glad I did.
Do you want to co-write it?
Yes.
So here is a kudos to Yana, because I didn't know about you until I was volunteering at the hospital. And I feel like those are the best moments when I am at the in-persons and mamas show up in their messy buns and yoga pants. And there are some mamas that apologize to me first. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm sorry I didn't. Please don't say sorry.
Please don't say I'm sorry.
We don't have a time limit. Please come in.
Come in.
And so that's what you have created.
Oh,
so kudos to you. Just an okay area. Babies are crying. It's okay.
Yep.
Babies are going to misbehave. It's okay. We got you.
Yep.
Let's talk about it. How can we help you? So you are doing a great job with this.
Yes. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. What's been your worst mama moments?
I had 2 of them, but I will give you an example of a lot of mommies. I'll just say personally, I don't have to be perfect, but I had a stigma. I'm from a big family. I'm really good with kids. I've been in early childhood forever. My husband is in education. All these things point to, oh my God, they're going to be perfect parents.
No such thing. There's no such thing.
No, I'm not. So things happen. Kaylin, she came out and she got hurt. And I beat myself up, skinned her knee. Just, it's not big, but she skinned her knee, and I'd be like, "Oh my God, I didn't see it. I'm really sorry." I'd take her out in public, and she would have tantrums, and I'd be like, "Oh my God," but I would internalize that.
Sure.
One of the moments was the triplets and Kaylin. Mark had work, obviously, God love him. He was so great providing, but I had, some nights on my own.
Yeah.
Everybody's bathed. Everybody's good. I was exhausted. I had nothing. So I let my kids run around naked in a room, and I just sat there and I cried.
Oh,
they were safe. The door was to everybody, and they were safe. They were in a room.
Yep.
I had nothing left.
Yep.
And God love my kids. They're like, "Mama, it's okay. Kaylin, it's okay, Mama. This will be okay." And then she started to play with the triplets. Everybody was happy.
Yep.
But Mama was depleted.
Yep.
So that was my worst moment, but it also was the next day my best, because I made it.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to make last night. Everybody
did
woke
it.
up.
Uh-huh.
I woke up. So yeah, that was my.
And they thought it was a party. They were so excited.
They did.
Yeah.
But that's why it's a passion too, because some mamas put on a mask, like you
Oh,
said.
big
I
time.
have to be on.
Mhm.
I have to be on. We need to create a place where it's okay to take your mask off.
Yep.
And we're going to help you.
Yep.
We're not going to let you stay in this uck.
Yep.
But it's okay to be in there.
And it's okay to be in the uck sometimes, because I think you can't have, I love that movie. It's got joy and it's all the different emotions, Inside Out.
Mhm.
I love that movie so much because it really made people, well, I hope it made people think, it made me think, but it was about you can't have joy without sadness and anger and frustration. You can't, none of them, you can't have them without each other. Like if we're always happy all the time, first of all, you're full of crap. But secondly, like you're not really real. Like it's not real. Right. And so I love that movie because I really think it puts in perspective that when you don't understand what sadness is, you don't understand what joy is. Right. When you are at your bottom, guess what? There's only one way to go, and that's up. And you're going to have to put your bootstraps on and figure it out. But I think that I agree with you that there's so many times that, especially when social media became a thing in our world, that we have to show everything's perfect. And I'm guilty of it sometimes too, right? Like you only post the good ones. You only post the pictures that you look the best in. You're not posting the crap because nobody wants to see that, right? No. Actually, some people probably do because they want to see, oh my God, your life isn't perfect, right? I can guarantee my life ain't perfect. So if I'm putting out that feeling, it's not true. Trust me, I cry almost on a daily basis about how we're going to keep this going and how we're going to keep supporting mamas. But the point of that is being real. There is so much depth to that. And then knowing that every single one of us is going through, there's that saying that everybody's going through something. You have no idea what they're going through. Absolutely. Everybody. And you just assume because they look like they got it all together. Their hair and makeup is done and they look good. They must know what they're doing and they're all good. No, that's not true. Right. I mean,
I'm guilty of it.
Like, 100%.
I could not walk out of the house, Mark and I, without, saying, oh my gosh, are the kids this? My diaper bag was a joke. It was kitchen sink. Oh my God, what if this happens? Like, and you have to put your face on. Yeah, we have 4 kids. It's great. Yep, everything's great. On the worst day or somebody, I don't know. But I think that mommies need to have that safe circle. Yes. This is what I say in work.
Yes.
What you just said is spot on, but not everybody deserves your story.
True.
Right?
True.
So how do we create a space in my job and with Yana and Strong Mamas to say, this is your trust circle. Yeah. It's okay. Yep. What you say is going to be here and we're going to help you, but it takes a minute.
Yeah, it does.
Not every mom is going to come in and say, hi, Shannon, you have triplets. I'm going to trust you with my story.
Right.
Not everyone's going to do that, but I want to create a safe space to be like, come.
Yeah. Yeah. I go back to Robin Williams a lot because I loved him so much. And he was the face of everything's great. I'm a funny guy. I make everybody laugh. I make everybody happy. So therefore I must be happy. And deep down that man was struggling, right? Nobody knew. Nobody knew. And I think so many of us have put that mask on and said, but I'm really struggling, but I don't want to talk about it. But the beauty, I think one of the beauties of our program is that we normalize the conversation so much that we're just like, yeah, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Like I make this up every day. Like, and I'm parenting adults and I do use quote marks when I say adults because they're all still on the payroll, but I'm like, right. They're not adults. I still pay insurance.
Right.
So if you're listening, children, but
am I allergic to anything?
But we don't know. And I go back to the type A person or the person who's always had it together or the person who has this amazing career, who has worked their tail off to get there and then puts it on hold to have babies, but then goes back to it and is like, oh my gosh, now I have to do that and this, and I got to know what I'm doing. And you don't have to know what you're doing. No. None of us do. No. And we're all just floundering around trying to figure it out. And I love that we give moms that safe space to say, yeah, I'm just lost. Right. I just don't know what I'm doing. I thought I would have this because I worked with kids my whole life. Right. I was been babysitting since I was 12 years old. Like, come on, I should know how to do this. Right. Yeah. Babysitting since you're 12 and parenting a 25-year-old, a little different. Yeah. So I do love that we give that space, but those places that don't have us, create it for yourselves. Like go find it or go build it so that you can make sure that other mamas feel that safe, valued, and accepted part. Because Unfortunately, we live in a world where that doesn't come second nature. It's not, it's hard to find sometimes. And sometimes you got to build it if it's not there. So that's what we did. If you build it, they will come. 100%. What do you wish you would have known when you became a mom? Either with the first or the triplets.
I would say from the get-go, from when Kaylin was there, it's okay to not be okay.
And still to this day, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to.
It is.
It's hard to, yeah.
So that would be my, it's okay to not be okay, build your village. But also now that they're almost 23 and 19, celebrate those moments. When you see, I totally remember breastfeeding Kaylin and watching her eyebrows come in. Aww. I made sure to sit there and I was like, wow. And I examined her and I saw her facial hair come in and like her feet and all this stuff. It's okay to sit there. The laundry will wait.
Yeah.
It's okay to enjoy your baby. And even though we did have 4 years with Kaylin and it was so great. We celebrated the first walk, the let's go have fun, the doctor's appointments. We were awesome. And the triplets came and we were awesome in a different way.
Sure.
But I did make sure to have those moments of it's okay. Oh, you're pulling someone's hair. That's kind of funny. Or does anyone else need to poop? Because this is the time to do it. This is your chance.
Yeah.
But just to celebrate those smiley moments.
Yes.
And to tell yourself, I'm going to do this. It's okay.
And then I have to say now, as a mom of 25, 23, 18-year-olds, it's still important to celebrate those. It's funny because my kids kind of roll their eyes a little bit when I'm like, oh my God, I'm so proud of you. You did that. And they're like, Mom, I like normal. I paid my bills.
Right.
Like I'm like, yeah. And you're living in Brooklyn and you're kicking ass and you're a lawyer and you've got this all together. And whether you look like you have it all together or not, you're doing it. And I'm proud of you. And even if you're crying yourself to sleep, that's okay too. Right. Because we all are at some point. Right. And then I've got, the 18-year-old who's crushing it in LA, like in film school, like figuring it out, even though he thinks the people of LA are a whole nother breed, which they are. He's like, wow, I guess I didn't see this coming. And that's funny because we live in Highlands Ranch, which is his own bubble. But he's like, the people of LA are a whole nother breed. Wow. But he's doing it and he's figuring it out and he's finding his way. And I'm so proud. And my middle one, who is just such a joy, and she's working through what she's going to do next, and wants to go to PA school, and that's a whole nother ball game. So I couldn't be more proud of them, but like celebrating each other and the even those little things. Like I'm not watching their eyebrows come in anymore, but I get to talk to them about like, look how great this is. My daughter called me a couple weeks ago and she goes, guess what I got tickets to? And I was like, what? She's like, the Kelly Clarkson show. I was like, oh my God, how fun. Great. I'm so excited for you. Who's the guest? Dan Levy. And I was like, David is going to be there. I immediately bought a ticket and I'm going. So I am next week. Excited. I'm going to see Kelly Clarkson and Dan Levy, and I couldn't be more excited. So I was like, you know what? Book the ticket. Like eat the cake. Let's do it. Like
seize the day, which is what I was going to compliment you on. Even though your kids are older, you are seizing the day being a mama. Yeah, you're celebrating the joys, and if something happens, you're going to be there. Yeah, so you and your husband need to high five each other.
Oh, thanks. Well, when he comes back to the state, maybe we will. Yeah, he's still in Florida, but yeah.
But you have kids that are out there doing.
Yeah. And it is a constant every day, something new, something challenge, whole nother thing coming up. We just it never ends. I don't think it ever ends. Like my kids, I assume I plan to be a part of their lives forever. But I think the challenges will always come. And then when they have their kids and they get married, like none of them are married, none of them have kids. So I'm so excited to see that happen. Right. Like I'm excited about, am I sad? Oh my gosh. Miley Cyrus wrote this song. Oh my gosh. It's called Younger You. And it is, it's because it's I think 30th anniversary of Hannah Montana.
I think 20th
anniversary, not 30th, 20th anniversary of Hannah and Montana, which my kids were obsessed with. And it's a song called Younger You. And it's, hey, it's younger you. Like, don't forget about me. I'm still here. And oh my gosh, the tears. Right. And I was just like, but it's so funny because I immediately thought of my kids and I thought about them and their younger you. And oh my gosh, don't forget about me. And then I was like, oh, but what about younger me? Right. I heard it a second time and then it hit me a different way. And I was like, oh, younger me. And then I kind of had to Whew, yeah.
Reintroduce yourself.
Yes.
Your younger you.
Reintroduce myself. So now I'm going through that whole like, yes, I'm still obviously going to be a mom first and always be, but then there's just me part of it that I was like, oh, now I get, there's this part that I get to not worry, but think about me a little bit. And like,
it's your turn.
It's my turn, which it doesn't come for a while because your turn is, but it'll be there. It'll be there.
I will.
You just have to wait for it.
I will.
Thank you for being here.
You are so welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh my
This was
gosh.
awesome.
I love every second of this. And I just adore you more than you could ever imagine.
Aw.
So
Keep up your Yana.
oh, thank you. Thank you. We will. And we'll see you next time on Let's Be Real Mama Journeys.